And Paul says Bill Gates is deeply entrenched in American security. Apparently, he has a Q clearance and he's a private editor at the NIH. Across nearly 20 years, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation built a relationship with the federal government that ran on personal access as much as formal partnership. I'm releasing the documents. And just so we're clear, a Q-level clearance is a high-level authorization issued by the U.S. Department of Energy. It says here, equivalence matches a standard federal top secret agent for reciprocity across other government agencies. Restricted data allows deep access to atomic weapons designs, generation processes, and special nuclear materials. What? Okay. Wow. I mean, let's remember the craziness of the last few years real quick. Okay, remember this?
Show that, contrary to what we thought, masks really do work in preventing infection.
No doubt.
So no doubt.
So when you find out you were wrong, you don't double down.
People should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. Right now, the message is the vaccines are very effective in preventing serious disease. So the data are very, very clear that A, you need a booster. The nature of those viruses that were studied were evolutionarily so far distant from what turned out to be SARS-CoV-2 that no matter what you did with those viruses, you would not be able to do that. Obviously, there are two possibilities that are being entertained, and I think we need to keep a completely open mind until we have definitive proof.
Dr. Fauci, did you delete any emails or records related to the Wuhan lab or the origins of the virus?
No, I did not. I am very happy to testify before any congressional oversight committee. I have nothing to hide. On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. I have not been misleading the American public under any circumstances.
So we're learning more and more that Fauci and Gates are buddy-buddy. It says here from Paul, there are many people I would like to bring in for questioning, including Bill Gates, whose ambitions include unearthing dangerous viruses and making them more transmissible to humans. I want to know about his government clearance and about his foundation's involvement in the NIH.
You've talked about Bill Gates. Is he someone you'd like to talk to? He was in high-level meetings shaping America's COVID policy. You also, after last week's hearing, mentioned other people surrounding Fauci that you would be calling in potentially to the Hill.
We're going to call his assistant, who said she deleted a lot of his records. As far as Bill Gates, I think the most important thing we've learned so far is that he wants to find and identify all the viruses in the world. It sounds noble at first, sounds like it might even be a good idea until you think about it. So if a virus is buried 300 feet underground in bat guano, 15 hours away from a major city in China, does it make sense to take a virus that doesn't interact with humans very often and bring it to a city of 15 million people? So I think that idea of Bill Gates is a bad one, but they do more than that. They take the virus to Wuhan, and then they mix and match parts of that virus with other viruses, and then they try to infect humanized mice. This whole procedure can train or push the evolution of a virus towards infecting humans. So they call it virus identification, but in the end, it has elements of gain of function and is actually very dangerous.
That's just crazy. It says here from Mario Nafal, Bill Gates got top secret clearance while Fauci played personal editor. Paul just dropped the documents and they are disgusting. Gates seemed to hold a Q clearance from 2014 to 2021, full access to restricted nuclear data the entire time the country was locked down and lectured by the same circle. Fauci and his people were not just working with him, they were editing his manuscripts, destroying copies in confidence, and treating the Gates Foundation like an extension of the agency. NIH brass were privately scrambling to map how deep the foundation's money went inside their own programs. DARPA brought them in for closed-door biodefense briefings. This was not oversight. We're talking about a private channel running between the richest man in the room and the officials who control the public health response. They had the clearance, the access, and the protection. The rest of the country got the mandates, the shifting stories, and the consequences. The records are public now. This guy is even more despicable as the days go by. Yeah, so it's just nuts. I gave the manuscript in close confidence to a trusted colleague who destroyed it after reading it. His name is Dr. David Morens. Wow. Okay. So here's the rest of this thread that's pretty long, but that's all right. Anthony Fauci served as Bill Gates' private editor with the help of David Morens, who's also been talked about on randpaulreview.com before. You should check that out. I gave the manuscript in close confidence to trusted colleagues who destroyed it, so they admit that in public records. When the NIH director urgently asked what his agency's ties to the Gates Foundations were, the answer came back that the foundation had been funding pieces of NIH. Is this coordinated in some way, or is Bill going rogue? Wow. DARPA gave the Gates Foundation a private briefing on 4 military biological threat programs. What? Collins told Melinda French Gates he had spent his tenure bringing NIH and the foundation closer together. This is nuts. I thought the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was supposed to only be doing charity work, but apparently they're involved in some other things, according to this source. So, according to Paul and what he's uncovered, Bill Gates held a Department of Energy Q clearance for 7 years, got terminated in 2021 for some reason. It permits access to top secret restricted data. That's crazy. With the help of David Morens, Paul says Anthony Fauci served as Bill Gates' private editor. In April 2020, Gates asked Fauci for feedback on his memo, Pandemic 1, the first modern pandemic. In January 2022, Gates asked Fauci to edit his book before it went to the publisher. Fauci returned tracked changes, then wrote, I gave the manuscript in close confidence to a trusted colleague who destroyed it after reading it. His name is David Morens. When the NIH director asked what his agency's ties to the Gates Foundation were, the answer came back that the foundation had been funding pieces of NIH. Francis Collins emailed Fauci and senior staff, quote, for reasons I can't currently explain, I need answers to the following. 1, are we giving any grants to BMGF? I assume no. 2, what are our current collaborative projects with BMGF? NIH's Internal Revenue reported the foundation had never applied for an NIH grant, but that BMGF, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has funded various components of NIH. Collins was then called to an Oval Office meeting with no stated agenda. He asked, is this coordinated in some way, or is Bill going rogue? DARPA gave the Gates Foundation a private briefing on 4 military threat programs. Preempt's stated aim is targeting viruses in animals before they emerge in humans. Its projects include bat sampling across 4 countries and a transmissible Lassa vax with internal off switch listed for potential deployment. Wow. All right. So check out the rest of that. Check out Rand Paul's Reading Room for more of their opinions and uncovered research on this particular topic. Okay. So, this is outside of my knowledge, so I'm not really going to comment my own opinions, but definitely check out and determine what you think for yourself. So, and this is the question right here too. What was Fauci's level of security clearance? I guess we won't know for a while. But anyways, like, share, leave a comment, let us know what you think.